I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All 6 of them.
Why did this even get made? Why did this even get made? Oh, because Universal had the rights to it, and they said, well, direct to video? Sure, why not? People recognize the name. But this is a PayPal request, thanks to Robert Ruthard. Thank you so much. Been a very kind person in the past. Thank you so much. And his request is for Backdraft 2. If anyone was ever interested in requesting pretty much any type of video, you could do so either by joining my Patreon or sending in a request via PayPal. The links will be down below in the info box. But it's from the same writer of the first movie. And this was the best script he could come up with, where it deals with arsons again, but not really. What do I mean by that? Because the story is Kurt Russell's son, not the actor Wyatt Russell, but the character, the son of his character from the first movie. He's now an arson investigator, doing kind of the stuff William Baldwin was doing in the first movie. And he investigates a fire. And from the get-go, I knew I was in trouble. Number one, the title. Number two, a sequel that no one asked for. No one was looking forward to. I liked the first Backdraft. But you know what? What's one of the things that Backdraft is famous for? It's fires. It's awe-inspiring firework. So let's make a movie that has an extreme lack of fucking fire sequences. You count on one hand how many scenes have fire that actually something happens. And it's done cheap, it's low budget, sometimes there's fucking CGI involved, and this looks like a production of TV land. Literally, if this was an episode of, I barely watch TV nowadays, isn't there one like Chicago Fire or something? Name a fucking TV show. That's the production value of this. And in the beginning of the film, the lead guy's investigating the fire, and he sees that this guy burned it. He pieces together because they found a body, and he's like, well, wait a minute, that's your girlfriend, huh? Well, usually people turn when there's a fire, but it didn't, and usually people sleep on one side of the bed or the other. Anyway, he works it out. The guy tries to run. The lead guy gets him, and then the guy goes, Jesus, who are you? I swear to God, for 10 seconds, I thought the guy was going to say, I'm Batman. No. The guy goes, Jesus, who are you? I'm a fireman. Backdraft 2. I went, when you're 5 minutes in, and I'm already thinking you're going to say, I'm Batman. The lead guy, I've seen worse. I have. But at times he reminded me of Joel Kinnaman. I would say he has a little bit more talent than Joe Kinnaman, but this is like Joe Kinnaman with an accent. With, I don't know what the fuck accent he was supposed to have. He was supposed to have a New Yorker accent or a Southern accent. I don't really know. And sometimes he's over the top, and I wouldn't say I really liked him, but he's not the worst thing ever, but I didn't really care about him either. I just didn't care about him. I didn't care about his character. His character, just like this movie, is typical, by the numbers, cliche ridden, seen it all before, making this yet even more completely pointless, completely useless, and a waste of space, a waste of time, and a waste of money, and a waste of resources. Is it the worst sequel ever? No. It's just so forgettable, by the numbers, direct to video. Again, Backdraft, you think of the great score. You don't have the great score in this. Because, of course, you're not going to have Hans Zimmer and that type of score. The awe-inspiring fire sequences, you're not going to have that in this. You have a couple bad shots when the actual story kicks in, the inciting incident, where you have, oh, it could be ballsy. It's Halloween, these trick-or-treaters, little kids go up to a door, they open it, the door blasts up and kills the kids. Again, it sounds ballsy. It sounds, ooh, shit. But when this bad CGI that's out of a fucking various cheap direct-to-video movies. So the door blasts in this crappy CG and CG fire, and it just hampers any effect that sequence could have had. You got cringeworthy dialogue. I mentioned that. Who are you? I'm a fireman. Okay. I mean, you might as well say, I'm a fire crotch. Then maybe, okay, I would call it fucking, instead of Backdraft 2, Backwash 2, or fucking Limp Dick 2, Electric Boogaloo, and make it a fucking comedy. Maybe then it would be actually something instead of nothing. I mean, William Baldwin from the first movie's in this. He's in it. He's in a handful of scenes. Because, of course, he's the uncle of our lead character. In case you forget that, there's great dialogue that when the lead goes, here's my father. And then William Baldwin goes, yeah, and he was my brother. No shit. He was my father. Well, he was my brother. No one fucking talks like that. They only talk like that, I guess, for the two people that were going to see this that never saw the first one. Who the fuck's going to see Backdraft 2 and have never seen Backdraft 1? They're going to fucking know. And it goes through the typical, the lead guy gets a partner, this black lady. The lead guy sometimes sounds like he's got fucking marbles in his mouth. The lead has a history. He lives in a place, shitty place. He drinks. He has a stray dog. I'm like, is he gonna live in a fucking trailer also? And put a fucking gun to his head while watching, and then later on watch fucking Three Stooges? Is he gonna call fucking Roger Murtaugh next? Is he gonna be registered as a lethal fucking weapon? Just cliche fucking shit. Or cliche dialogue. He's against authorities. Stay away from my burn. Because he's looking to the kids that got killed. Stay away from my burn. Okay. Well, are you really going to bitch about that? What the fuck else am I going to talk to? What the fuck else am I going to talk about? There's really nothing to talk about. I'm trying to keep my voice a little bit lesser so I'm not blowing out people's eardrums with the microphone, but goddamn. So it's him and his new partner. It's against authorities, including, sometimes against William Baldwin. And they try to find out who did this. They catch one arson. He talks about how people tried to hire him for that Halloween Kids gig, but he said no. You get a couple of appearances by Donald Sutherland, who sadly he looked sickly in this, which is weird because I think after this came out Ad Astra, which I saw him in, and he looked good. He did a good job in that. Here, he plays the arsonist from the first movie. Only in this one, he seems a bit more comical. I mean, yeah, he was crazy in the first one, but here it just seemed as if he's going to be a fucking supervillain. Like, he's going to be the fucking Riddler or something. It just came off as silly than creepy. Maybe because of the way he was directed, maybe because of... I don't fucking know. I mean, I should have mentioned, yeah, you know who directed this? You go from Ron Howard, who did the first film, and you get the guy that did Apollo 18. For those who don't remember, I did a rant on that film long ago where I beat the shit out of a rock with Bruce Lee nunchucks because it's a fucking found footage movie that takes place in space, and the big fucking reveal is the bad guys are aliens that are fucking moon rocks. Yes, Apollo 18, ooh, at the end, is fucking moon rocks. The creatures are moon rocks. Moon rocks. Must be fucking Fraggle Rock. Jesus. So you did the guy who did Apollo 18 to do Backdraft 2. One day, Mike, if you ever see this, Michael CP, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. That the director of Apollo 18, the Moon Rock movie, did this. And sad the thing... Well, how come previously you said it's not the worst sequel of all time? Because so much of it is just such a boring, typical, procedural... It's like something you would see on a TV show. Here's an episode of pick your random TV show of nowadays. At least the one on that weren't taken off for bullshit political reasons. So you did a boring investigation. You get a lack of fire sequences because you have a lack of budget. You have a lead guy that sometimes sounds like he's got marbles in his mouth, or sometimes he's Joel Kinnaman's brother. I did a What Kinnaman from RoboCop remake. The investigation goes on. There's one scene where there's this guy that has a gun on our two leads, and one thing leads to another, and he catches on fire. It then shot like a TV show with low production values. Compared to Backdraft? Yes. Well, you can't compare it because of the budget. That's why you should not have made it in the first place. Sometimes there's a thing called no. N and O. How about this? How about you just don't make it? That can be a thing too. Or how about you actually put some money and effort into it and make make a new fireman movie with crazy fire sequences and stunt work, but no, we can't do that. And even if they did, it'd just be fucking CGI, but maybe higher grade CGI. Kick into the third act. He starts getting closer to the truth. There's a point where he's with this lady and he finds out there's a bomb under his bed. And William Baldwin, his uncle, gets there. He's going to help him out, so he goes on... The bedroom's up top. He goes in a room under. He closes the door. William Baldwin's hitting the ceiling. I guess he did this on purpose or something. He triggers something, so while the lead is on the bed and it lifts up, it's like... Which looked ridiculous. It looked silly. Meanwhile, William Baldwin gets killed. So if you liked William Baldwin's character, if you liked his character in the first film, he's in this for a handful of scenes. If you put them all together, 10 minutes maybe, and then he gets killed. And then, why is this all happening? And again, this is the writer who did the first movie. It deals with terrorists that are making fires as a distraction for them moving missiles. Yep, that's what you think of Backdraft. You think of terrorism, you think of missiles. It's a snow cone maker. You're fired. I mean, just go watch fucking True Lies then. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Like, you don't make a Backdraft sequel. It's about terrorism and terrorists moving missiles. And the ending is just a lame duck fuck of an ending where it's just this... He finds the docks, finds the container where they're at. He rigs a trap. There's 3-4 bad guys there. He shoots one. His partner shooting. Lead guy gets shot. Girl gets shot. Last bad guy leads him to there. Lead guy goes open up that container door. Bad guy does it. The lead guy set up a trap so it's a backdraft and burns the guy to a crisp, and then he falls like this. And when he's like this, he's crispy critters. He's the shit you did at KFC. The shot guy and shot girl, the two leads, they walk off and the movie ends. This has no amount of emotion that the first film had, has none of the awe that the first film had. It barely has any fire sequences. And the ones that are due, they're hampered by bad CGI additions or touches, or they're just cheap, lackadaisical, and they just, again, this feels like something that would be a fucking TV episode, not a fucking sequel to Backdraft. It's such a useless, fucking pointless movie, and all it succeeded was, hey, William Baldwin, you like this character? Well, now he's dead. He got killed by a fucking bomb. But hey, the guy who plays Caruso's son, he's alive. As if I give a shit. And a plot, even the plot seems like something that I would see on fucking CSI Miami. And I like that show. I'd rather go watch that fucking show than this. So, I don't know what else to say. Thanks for watching, take care, and fuck this movie. More like butt fuck 2. That's what we call it, Backdraft. Yeah, butt fuck 2. The buttoning of the fucking.